Òṣìṣú àwa ní. Ẹ̀túngbẹ́ kí n gbà.
Gbogbo kí gbogbo alága kí wọ́n jáde báyìí. Nígbàtí Agége bá Mr. Governor. Ẹ̀yin tó kù, ẹ̀yin alága tó kù, ẹ jáde báyìí. Ajérọ̀mí, ẹ̀yin dà.
Sound check.
Lẹ́yìn yẹn, Àpápá.
All right. Sound check.
Thank you. Yes.
Ẹ̀túngbẹ́ kí n gbà. Láwọn fi ìgbà wọn dà sí kòtò.
Àpápá.
Ṣẹ́gbẹ́ wa.
Ayọ̀bọ̀ Ìpájà.
Lọ́gbẹ̀gbà tá ò ní wọ́kẹ̀ mọ́ wí o.
Badagry West.
Àsíá APC pọ̀ rẹpẹtẹ o.
Bariga.
Bóyá ẹ̀ má dènà dé wá o.
Bukola. Ọmọ pé Adédèjì.
Ìgbẹ́ ṣinṣin kì í dènà
Kókà
dọ̀wọ̀.
Àgùdà.
Ẹ má dènà dẹgbẹ́ wa.
Kókà Àgùdà.
APC ní ọ̀gá o. APC ní ọ̀gá.
Egbe Ìdímù.
APC ní ọ̀gá o. Gbogbo federation OPC.
Thank you, Kókà Àgùdà. Ògìdán.
Óyá, àsọ̀rọ̀ ẹgbẹ́ tó gbà yìí. Àwọn ìṣìwẹ́wẹ́ náà kọ́kọ́ yọjú. Láìpẹ́ náà làwọn ẹ̀rọ tẹ̀lé. Láìmọ̀ pé APC lọ́gá à ń sọ.
Èjìgbò kó wà tí sábà Èjìgbò.
Èjìgbò ó yẹ máa bọ̀ Èjìgbò.
Ó yá Papa Gọ̀mú.
Èjìgbò.
Ìṣèjìgbò ara. Ẹ̀pẹ́. Erédò. Please be fast.
Mo ní àsọ̀rọ̀ ẹgbẹ́ tó lè ṣe.
Ẹ̀pẹ́ Princess Animashaun.
Ìṣìwẹ́wẹ́ náà kọ́kọ́ yọjú.
Ẹ̀pẹ́ tó fọ́lò.
Láìpẹ́ náà làwọn ẹ̀rọ tẹ̀lé.
Sura.
Láìmọ̀ pé APC lọ́gá à ń sọ.
Etí ọ̀sà.
Princess Sura Animashaun Ẹ̀pẹ́. Eredo LCDA. Ismail Akinloye. Monsuru Akinloye.
APC ní gbogbo ọ̀gá. Lábẹ́ bàbá wa o, àtọ́fiṣọ́gun rán.
Thank you.
Jàgàbá bọ̀dù.
Yes. Etí ọ̀sà.
Etí ọ̀sà.
Ní gbogbo Èkó.
Etí ọ̀sà.
Sanwo-Olu Sanwo-Èkó.
Etí ọ̀sà. East.
Etí ọ̀sà East.
Iba to get ready.
Iba. Followed by Ìbẹ̀jùlẹ́kì Ṣẹ̀san Ọlọ́wà.
Oríire gbogbo Èkó.
Etí ọ̀sà East.
Ọmọ Sanwo-Olu ni o.
Etí ọ̀sà East.
APC ẹ̀mí ayọ̀.
Etí ọ̀sà East.
Etí ọ̀sà East.
Iba to follow.
Followed by Iba LCDA.
APC ẹ̀mí ayọ̀.
After Iba Ìbẹ̀jùlẹ́kì.
And after that is Ìbẹ̀jùlẹ́kì Ṣẹ̀san Ọlọ́wà.
Kò ní bàjẹ́. Ire wa tó dé kò ní bàjẹ́ o. APC ẹ̀mí ayọ̀. Ire wa wọlé dé. APC ẹ̀mí ayọ̀ o. Ire wa wọlé dé.
Ifakọ Ìjàyè. Àkànbí.
Followed by Ìfẹ́lódùn. After
Ìfẹ́lódùn.
Ìfẹ́lódùn.
Lagos Mainland.
Lagos Mainland.
Lagos Mainland. Lagos Mainland.
Lekki.
APC ẹ̀mí ayọ̀.
Okay.
Ẹ̀mí lẹ́gbà Kọ́láwọlé.
APC ẹ̀mí ayọ̀.
Lekki. Razak Kazali. Mosan Okunla is Akindele Ọpẹ́yẹmí.
Ó yàtọ̀ bá tún tọ́lọ́wọ́ sí chairman.
Followed by Mushin.
Ajá pẹ́lú
Followed by Mushin Aruwe Túnbọ̀sún.
Àtọ́fiṣẹ́ ogun rán.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Odi Olowo.
Odi Olowo Ojuwoye. Jakonde Lawa.
Ọjọ́ tó fọ́lù.
Agúntẹ̀ lódòdó o.
Òjòdú tó fọ́lù ọjọ́. Oya ẹ ṣé o, God bless you. Ọjọ́.
Ẹlẹ́dẹ̀dẹ̀ ẹ̀fọ́láyé o.
Ọjọ́.
Tinubu láṣẹ kan sí.
After Ọjọ́ is Ojodu.
Oya ṣé, God bless you.
Jakonde Somolu. Ashimi.
Fẹ́ni tó bá lè ṣe. Sùúrù lérè fẹ́ni tó bá lè ṣe.
Olúfojúde. Surulere Yusuf Sulaiman Bamidele and Prince Dosumu.
Yaba.
Yaba yesterday is Bayo Adefuye and his vice. Bayo Adefuye and his vice.
Ibi tó bá kù díẹ̀ sí, kánà sùúrù sí, Tinubu máa ṣe.
Hello.
How the chairmanship candidate to file on? So that Mr. Sanwo-Olu just take a photograph with them. Sharp.
Tinubu
chairmanship candidate just line up
Ibi
there.
tó bá kù díẹ̀ sí, kánà sùúrù sí.
Governor.
Odòdè kì í fọ́. Ọmọ olódòdè. Odòdè kì í ya. Ọmọ olódòdè. Àgùntẹ̀ lódòdè. Ọmọ olódòdè. Àbẹ̀rẹ̀ pọ́njú lọ́mọ ẹ̀.
Most especially the female candidates. We have never had these numbers before, and that is why the First Lady has decided to come and address you, to encourage you, to let you know that as the mother of Lagos State, she's with you. Please.
Thank you very much, Solo. There's no time. Thank you very much, Bombay. Bombay, thank you very much.
I want to respectfully acknowledge your governor, our governor, Mr. Babajide Olushola Aduragbemi Sanwo-Olu, my darling husband. Happy birthday to you, sir.
Celebu.
I don't want to take much of your time. I want us to know that the power of the woman is in her voice. The power of the woman is in her voice, and we're supposed to use it constructively to make sure that we improve our nation. So help us, God. I also want to acknowledge all our elders. Thank you very much for your guidance always. Our predecessors, I want to thank you. You are still there, even though some of you have bailed out, but you are still going to be guiding our winning team, the winning team for 2025, come 12th July 2025. You will be there for us. You will stand with them. You will direct them. You will guide them. I also want to reiterate everything that the chairman has said. The objective is to make sure that we improve our state, ensure that there's unity and peace among our people. Go down. Ọlọ́run á kọ́ yín mọ̀ ṣe o. Ọlọ́run á fún yín ṣe o. A dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ Ọlọ́run. Thank you.
Soundcheck. Thank you very much. Bóyá kí n gbé máìkì wá síbi tí bàbá náà ń bọ̀. Our father will be coming straight now. He will be coming to stand on this and give us those beautiful words, inspiring words from those moments. Usually remind us.
Okay, ìyá wa olórí, mo kí àwọn gbákejì yín náà, mo kí gbogbo àwọn aṣíwájú ẹgbẹ́, gbogbo àwọn àgbààgbà tán wà ń jókòó, ọba ní o, ìjòyè ní o, gbogbo yín gbà ni mo kí. Mo kí gbogbo àwọn aṣíwájú bàbá ní ká máa tò bó ṣe yẹ ká máa tò, àgbà àsìkò púpọ̀. mo dẹ̀ wá kí gbogbo àwọn alága wa àwọn igbákejì wọn àwọn aṣojú wa àwọn councillors wa tuntun mo kí yín ẹ kú oríire Ọlọ́run Olódùmarè á dúró tì yín akọ yín mọ̀ ọ́n ṣe ìgbà yẹn á da ìgbà yẹn á sàn wá. Ní Lagos State á sàn wá sówó á sàn wá sọ́mọ àwọn bàbá wa ní á sàn wá sí àìkú tó ń ṣe baálẹ̀ ọ̀rọ̀ torí ọ̀rọ̀ ni a fi ń ṣayé. Lórúkọ gbogbo àwọn ẹlẹgbẹ́ mi àwọn GAC mo gbàgbé mi júbà wọn lẹ́ẹ̀kan kán má bínú ọlá igi òun ni iná ló fi ń jó torí náà mo kí yín àwọn GAC yẹn àwọn ẹlẹgbẹ́ mi àwa ni àwọn bàbá wa ń pè ní aláṣekù ìrìn àjò tẹ́ fẹ́ rìn yìí púpọ̀ wa tá a jókòó bẹ́ẹ̀ náà láti rìn rí àmọ́ ìrìn àjò ńlẹ̀ ayé ìmí wàá rìn wàá gbayì wàá gbẹ̀yẹ ìmí nínú ìrìn àjò èèyàn á gbàbùkù mo bá yín ṣàdúrà Ọlọ́run má jẹ́ kẹ́ ẹ gba àbùkù o àmọ́ àdúrà yẹn àbí ń dunra wá nú ni o àwọn Yorùbá nínú ọgbọ́n wọ́n sọ fún gbogbo wa wọ́n náwó ẹni la fi ń tún wà ẹni ṣe ìyẹn pé tó o bá wà láyé kan bó o bá ṣe dáadáa ayé á rí tí ẹ bá wò ó gómìnà wa wà ń jókòó nísìnyí kò tí ì kúrò ń bẹ̀ ìgbà tó kù tó máa lò á lò dáadáa pẹ̀lú ògo Ọlọ́run ṣẹ́rí kò tí ì kúrò ń bẹ̀ ó ti ń gbayì ó ń gbẹ̀yẹ tẹ́ bá wo nú ìwé ìròyìn tẹ́ gbọ́ nú rédíò ojoojúmọ́ lọ́wọ́ èèyàn ń tọ́ka sí ohun tó ṣe náà ń ṣàdúrà fún nítorí náà àwòkọ́ṣe kan nìyẹn fún yín ẹ̀yin tẹ́ gbégbá ń sẹ̀yìn ẹ má sáré àpò yín ẹ sáré ohun tẹ́ ẹ máa fi sílẹ̀ tó máa yẹ yín ẹ̀yin ní ìtàn la gbọ́dọ̀ máa sọ fún yín tán bá ń kọ̀tàn Lagos State tí wọ́n bá kọ dárúkọ Alhaji Lateef Jákàndé ìtàn yẹn ò tí ì pẹ́ àmọ́ ọdún mẹ́rin péré ó lé oṣù bíi mẹ́ta Alhaji Jákàndé fi ṣe ìjọba o ó dẹ̀ ṣe nǹkan mánigbàgbé èrè alága láàrin ọdún kan ó lè ṣe ohun tí ó máa jẹ́ mánigbàgbé nítorí náà gbogbo yín ẹ mú dání kí lẹ fẹ́ ṣe fún àdúgbò yín kí lẹ fẹ́ ṣe tẹ́ ẹ fẹ́ fi gbé wa níyì kí lẹ fẹ́ ṣe tẹ́ ẹ fẹ́ fi gbé ẹgbẹ́ wa APC tó gbé yín jáde kí lẹ fẹ́ ṣe tẹ́ ẹ fẹ́ fi gbé ẹgbẹ́ yìí níyì ó ṣe pàtàkì so mo bẹ̀ yín mo dẹ̀ ń tọ́ka sí tẹ́ bá wò gbogbo ibi tá a ti jáde púpọ̀ wa tá a wà ń bí báyìí nísìnyí lágbo òṣèlú a jáde láti ilé Awólọ́wọ̀ a jáde láti agbo Awólọ́wọ̀ ohun táwólọ́wọ̀ ṣe má ní gbàgbé ni bọ́n bá ń sọ̀rọ̀ wọ́n á sọ̀rọ̀ ẹ̀kọ́ ọ̀fẹ́ free education má ní gbàgbé ni púpọ̀ àwọn aṣíwájú tẹ́ rí yìí ni wọ́n ní ipa nínú bí free education bó ṣe jókòó ní Lagos State bó ṣe jókòó ní gbogbo division táwọn èèyàn ń jẹ ọ̀lẹ́ẹ̀lẹ́ni nítorí náà abẹ̀yìn kẹ́ ẹ ṣe gbogbo iṣẹ́ yìí kẹ́ ẹ ṣe ẹ̀tọ́ kẹ́ ẹ tún àdúgbò ṣe ilẹ̀ kọ́ máa kó lóòrèkóòrè ẹ̀yìn nígbà táwa jẹ kánsílọ̀ èmi náà jẹ kánsílọ̀ rè nígbà tá a jẹ kánsílọ̀ àwa la wà ní ìtajì primary education ní Lagos State primary education ní Lagos State a dẹ̀ ṣe àgbáyì àgbẹ̀yẹ tó gbogbo nǹkan tó wà ní abẹ́ yíyẹn kẹjọ kí ẹ ṣe dáadáa kí ẹ ṣe dáadáa bá a ṣe ń sọ̀rọ̀ yìí a lè sọ àpò sí ohun tá a máa sọ tá a máa wá gbàgbé president wa the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria President Ahmed Bola Tinubu. Ó jẹ́ àwòkọ́ṣe fún gbogbo yín ó jẹ́ àwòkọ́ṣe fún gbogbo yín kẹ́ ṣe kẹ́ dàbí Bọ́lá kẹ́ ṣe kẹ́ fi gbé Èkó níyì tí ẹ bá wò ó wọ́n máa tọ́ka sí iṣẹ́ tí president ṣe nígbà tó jẹ́ gómìnà l'Ékòó tówó tó ń wọlé fún wa tí kò tó ó mú ọgbọ́n wá ó mú làákàyè wá ọgbọ́n yẹn àti làákàyè yẹn òun ló gbé Lagos State níyì dèní ní gbogbo West Africa kò sí stéètì tó ń rí owó pasápò bí Èkó àsìkò Bọ́lá ní gbogbo kínní ló jáde nítorí náà ẹ̀yin náà ẹ ṣe kẹ́ ẹ dàbí Bọ́lá ẹ ṣe kẹ́ ẹ dàbí Sanwo-Olu ẹ ṣe kẹ́ ẹ dàbí Jákàndé ẹ̀yin tá a bá ń sọ̀rọ̀ lẹ́nu ọjọ́ mẹ́ta yìí ẹ̀yin wọ́n ní àwọn kan ń sọ̀rọ̀ tí nínú rédíò wọ́n sọ̀rọ̀ June 12 wọ́n fẹ́ fi ẹnu ẹ̀tẹ́ kan president gbogbo ohun tí wọ́n ń sọ yẹn tí n bá sọ sí nígbà tí mo wà láyé kò ní dáa tó iṣẹ́ tá a ṣe ní June 12 iṣẹ́ ẹ̀tọ́ iṣẹ́ iyì tí àléébù kan bá wà ń bẹ̀ kò sí láti ọ̀dọ̀ president wa lénìí rárá ẹ jẹ́ kí n sọ kinní kan ẹgbẹ́ wa nígbà yẹn ẹgbẹ́ wa ó bá sójà sọ̀rọ̀ ẹgbẹ́ wa mo jẹ́ wà ń bẹ̀ tí nǹkan kan bá wọ́ ó ti o látọ̀dọ̀ aṣáájú kọ àmọ́ gbogbo ẹ̀ ó ti di ìtàn àní gbà yín ní àsìkò lórí ìyẹn nítorí náà gbogbo ẹ̀yin tá a gbé jáde lénìí kúnlẹ̀ kílẹ̀ tó lè jẹ́ o nítorí náà ẹ ṣe ṣe ẹ̀yin bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn o ẹ ṣe o thank you and God bless.
Eshegon, thank you very much. Our great leader, the chairman of the GAC in Lagos State, Prince Dr. Tajuddin Oluyole Olusi. Thank you very much, sir. I'll just wait a while for him to sit down while I bring forth Omoba Omoye, the Deputy Speaker of the Lagos State Assembly, Right Honorable Lasbat Miranda, to have a speech now. So on that note, let me bring forward the Deputy Speaker of the Lagos State Assembly, Right Honorable Lasbat Mojisola Miranda, Omoba Omoye. Apasa.
Able wife. Good afternoon to all our GAC leaders here present. Our distinguished Senator, Mrs. Sidia Tadegbile. Good afternoon. I hereby start by the already established protocol. First of all, I want to appreciate everybody seated here this afternoon for coming out, for turning up for our great party, APC, and also to congratulate all our candidates once again. Congratulations. This is the time for us to come out and work for the victory of the party. Let us put our grudges behind, try and reach out to other aspirants. Let's do reconciliation and come out to work for the party. On that note, on behalf of Right Honorable Speaker Dr. Mudashiru Ajayi Obasa, I welcome you all and I wish you all the best. APC ti gbogbo wa ni, kò má gbọ́dọ̀ bàjẹ́, ó dọ̀wọ́ yín, nítorí kò sí ibòmíràn tí a lè lọ, àjò ò lè dàbí ilé. Ẹ jẹ́ ká fọwọ́pọ̀ ká fìmọ̀ ṣọ̀kan gbé kémi gbé. God bless Lagos State, God bless Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Mo fi àṣẹ rí ìdánù pátápátá gbọdọgbọdọ. Sanwo-Olu, èyí wàá gbọ́.
Àṣẹ.
Èyí wàá tọ́.
Àṣẹ wà.
Ìyá fún wa gbẹgbẹ pẹ́tọ́ ológun. Àmọ́ lọ́wọ́. Àmọ́ lẹ́sẹ̀. Àmọ́ tìmọ̀ láláwọn ọgọ́mọ. Ojú àṣà ìmọ̀ ṣẹ́gun òrùlé. Àgbẹ̀ alágẹ̀mú yẹn máa ṣàyíkẹ́. Ọmọ yẹn máa ṣètò láyọ̀ obìnrin dùgbẹ́dùgbẹ́. Gbọ́kọ̀ ní ti kú. Ilẹ̀ ní tẹ̀pá. Èsì máa bá bọ̀ olúgèrè ṣe dùn lẹ́bàbà rẹ̀. Àtàwọn àtọ̀gbẹ̀rì. Wọ́n bọ̀ lọ́lọ́lọ́lọ́ rẹ̀ tó ṣùgbọ́n. Mo ní títà ó bá yọjú. Tọ̀gbẹ̀rì bá tọ́gbẹ̀ ẹlẹ́sẹ̀. Èmi la jájá wìrì. Àjàjà wìrì. Fẹ́ràn bá lẹ́rú wẹ̀wọ̀yọ. Ẹkùn lé ní mí. Bìkìṣẹ́ ni à ń gbá lójú. Àfi ilé ní mí. Bìkìṣẹ́ ni à ń ti láyà. Èmi la fi jú ọjà máa rìn gbẹdẹ́gẹ́. Àwọn ọ̀bùn ọjà wa pàṣẹ yọ.
Olusola Sanwo-Olu, standing ovation for Mr. Governor Babajide Olusola Sanwo-Olu Celebu. Hey. DJ.
If you reach Lagos, better life for Lagos, better hope for Lagos, so better day for Lagos, yeah. Reach Lagos, better life for Lagos, better hope for Lagos, better day for Lagos, yeah. Better Lagos, Sanwo-Olu, go Sanwo-Olu, you want to better Lagos, Sanwo-Olu, go Sanwo-Olu, you want to better Lagos, Sanwo-Olu, go Sanwo-Olu, you want to the kind of Faji, Shawty, what's up today? My boys, they know, you to them know. It could not be your mama, not get it, my talk about Milan, talk about security, talk about island, talk about good road, talk about Sanwo-Olu, talk about good life. Sanwo-Olu,
Okay, DJ, break it down, DJ, break it down.
APC,
Pro-Black,
APC, everything easy and cool for us. Let's give God Almighty a big round of applause. Thank you. Because once we have acknowledged God, then things will begin to happen and happen very fast. I want to, on behalf of all of you that have come out here in large number, there are even an overspill. I want to, on your behalf, thank all my fathers, all my leaders that are on this side. From our GAC members, from our GAC members, to our members from the Federal House of National Assembly, our senators are here, our MHR are here, our Deputy Speaker are here, all the members of the Lagos State House of Assembly, all the cabinet members are here, all of our various leaders from all the local government and LCDA, they are all seated here. Former, present. We want to thank all of them. Please, let's give them a big round of applause. Let's give all of them. The turnout here today has been extremely, very impressive. This is a real stakeholder engagement. And so, having acknowledged them here, I need to also acknowledge you here. And so the people that are here, all of my local government chairmen, all of my local government aspirants and candidates now, right? Former member aspirant before, full candidates now. All the vice chairman candidates, all the councillors that are here, all the various groups, market women, youth group, CDC, CDA, all of the various ethnic groups that have turned out, all the artisans that are all seated, please give yourself a big round of applause. Thank you very much. This is a real stakeholder interaction. And I want to thank the chairman of our party. I want to thank the exco of our party. And I want to thank the campaign organizing committee that was able to put this together very quickly. That is an example of what we need to look at. And that's why it's a life example. I don't need to create it. I don't need to go and look for it. It's a life example for all of us to take home. That whatever it is, there will be differences. There will be issues. And that's why there's a word called issue. But after the issue, we'll resolve it. The moment we resolve it, as a party, as a people, we must come together. Because a house that stands together stands united. And so, let us use Ladega as an example of an aspirant who has not turned to a candidate. And let us take it back home to all of our wards, our communities, and all our streets. That you have seen the governor have delivered Mr. President's message, and we are happy. We are united. We are stronger. They did not take us for granted, we the citizens. They did not say that because they are in the center, they are in the governor, they are the one in local government, and we don't matter. That's why we have called all of us. 15 million. All of you here, you are a leader in one form or the other. That's why you are a stakeholder. You are a leader in one form or the other. And so it is you that I need to speak to. Living from here today now, you have seen that even with our uniform, go show unity Noah. Hello? Hello? Everybody look nice. Even with our uniform, it says something. It shows that we're a party that is committed, that do not take people for granted, and we want the best for our people at all times. But how do we do that? You are 57 candidates and the vice and all the councillors. You have presented yourself. The party has presented you. You need to ensure that you do not disappoint all of these leaders that are sitting here. Hey, go me by. You do not disappoint all of the people that are sitting here that have come to validate your candidacy, that have come to support your candidacy. That once you get there, by the grace of God, by the people of Lagos, that will vote you July 12, 2025. It is not a vote where we will say that we must come out in a large number. We must go out and cast our votes. And we'll wait for them to count our votes. And wait for them to announce our results. Then we now have the responsibility of governance. And so you can see, my stakeholders, that we have brought you here to encourage us, to admonish us, to plead with us, to support us, to go out there and engage the citizens. The chairman has said it. From tomorrow, every day, you are going from one ward to another. You are knocking on doors. You are not taking them for granted. Chairman, eti wole iro. Mo fẹ́ kẹ́ wá ta ni. My councillor kò sí problem wà. Àbí bẹ́ẹ̀ kọ́, problem wà. Kò tí di June 12. I mean, kò tí di July 12. A máa jáde, a máa dìbò. Because that is what the Constitution says, and we in APC in Lagos State will abide fully with the Constitution and will obey and follow all of the guidelines that have been set out by LISEC. We will do the right thing at all times. And that's why we have brought you here. That's why we have come here to encourage ourselves. To say that we have brought what we call our best 57 out. Let us go out and campaign for them. Let us go out and ensure that victory, large victory is for them. From the victory, let us see that indeed APC is a validly supported party in Lagos State. Chairman Shebe, Damilo, Chairman Shebe, ẹ̀yin bàbá ẹ̀yin ìyá ń fẹ́ dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ yín ni o. Mo fẹ́ dúpẹ́ pé ohun Ọlọ́run ó dẹ̀ fún wa lọ́jọ́ ìní ìṣe. Àbẹ́ẹ̀rí bẹ́ẹ̀ nínú oṣù June tójú máa ń dà wà àtòrùn àtòjò Ọlọ́run dẹ̀ bá mu dání. Bàbá mi ó dà pé ẹ máa fún mi ní ìtẹ̀lò lénìí tẹ́ fi hangi ẹ̀ because Ọlọ́run gan inú ẹ̀ dùn sí ìta ṣe lénìí ni. Ẹ rí i pé bá ṣe dúró gan ara tù wá kò yàn kọ́kọ́ fáàn ara wọn àwọn obìnrin wa kan tó máa ń mú fáàn dání wọn fáàn ara wọn lénìí ṣẹ́rí bẹ́ẹ̀ pé Ọlọ́run bá a lọ́wọ́ sí irú àyà tá a wá ṣe lénìí àdúpẹ́ fún yín àdúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ Ọlọ́run pé gbogbo yín náà lẹ wá bá ọmọ yín sọ̀rọ̀ ẹ̀dẹ̀ tí wọ́n bẹ́ẹ̀ pé àjẹ́ kó jẹ́ pé ńgbà tí ẹ pa àlàwà bẹ́ẹ̀ ó dẹ̀ ti ṣe dandan irọ́ àwa bá wọn sọ̀rọ̀ ni pé bí bó ṣe rí ni pé ní ọjọ́ 12 oṣù keje ní ọdún yìí tí LASIEC ti sọ fún wa pé a máa ṣe ìbò ti local government chairman vice àti àwọn councillors wa gbogbo àfẹ́ fi ọwọ́ yọbẹrẹ mu láti pé gbogbo wa ta jẹ́ stakeholder bí lẹ́nìí pé bó ṣe ń kó rí tẹnitẹni àbí bẹ́ẹ̀ kọ́ tiwa ní tiwa ẹ̀ńtà ti yàn tẹ́tí mú sókè tẹ́tí gbé flag fún pé òun ni chairman òun ni vice ó di dandan ká jáde ká lọ ṣiṣẹ́ fún wọn ká lọ ṣiṣẹ́ ẹgbẹ́ fún wọn mo dẹ̀ ti fi lóyìnbó mo ti sọ fún wa mẹ́sẹ̀gì tí bàbá wa president àti òfin ní kí n fi jíṣẹ́ fún yín pé kí n dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ yín pé ìtàdẹ̀ fẹ́ ṣe yìí náà ká má fi ṣe pé ó ti lọ irọ́ ká ṣiṣẹ́ bóyá ká ṣe ká bá lè fi wọ̀n fáwọn èèyàn gédégbé pé APC ní ẹgbẹ́ tó ṣe fi yangàn ní ìlú Èkó níjọ́ yẹn kárí pé a jáde akànlẹ̀kùn láti Àgbòyíkétu dé Àlímọ̀ṣọ́ láti Ajérọ̀mí Ìfẹ́lódùn dé Ọlọ́rundá láti Ìjẹ̀dẹ̀ títí dé Etí Ọ̀sà West láti Kòròdú títí dé Ṣómólú láti Àpápá tó fi lọ títí dé Àmúwò Ọ̀dọ̀fin àfi kankan sílẹ̀ àfi kankan sílẹ̀ mo yẹ sọ náà gbogbo yín ta jókòó síbi lídà nìyí ní ìhà kan àbí ìhà míì olórí lẹ jẹ́ lẹ fi ní ìjókòó nínú bí ìlénì àbí bẹ́ẹ̀ kọ́ olórí lẹ jẹ́ bóyá ní CDC ní o bóyá nínú ọjà ní o bóyá láàrin youth ní o bóyá ní ward ní o bóyá ní local government ní o bóyá ní state ní o olórí kan lẹ jẹ́ olórí tẹ̀lẹ̀ jẹ́ náà Ọlọ́run ní fi ń ṣèrù ó wá di dandan ká mú ìjókòó yìí ká mú lọ́lé ká lọ sọ fún wọn pé àtìrí gọ́fúnà o wọ́n dẹ̀ lè fi iṣẹ́ rán wa gbogbo àwọn tó bá ń bínú kọ́ ṣe báyìí pé wọ́n ti ẹ̀ ṣe wọ́n tún fi MC wọ́n fi ṣàpèjúwe pé bọ́ọ̀ tó ṣe MC lẹ́nìí tínú ẹ̀ ń dùn táyọ̀ ẹ̀ kún òun náà fẹ́ jẹ́ ṣùgbọ́n lọ́n sọ pé kó yìí ní sùúrù pé sọ kí la máa ń bára wa jà kò dẹ̀ síjà bí ó ṣe pé ká jáde ńjọ́ náà lọ́hùn ká dẹ̀ gbé àdìbò bàbá wa Olúyọ̀lé wọ́n dẹ̀ wá sọ nǹkan kan pé ọdún mẹ́rin ó tó kí chairman kó fi ṣiṣẹ́ ọdún mẹ́rin ó ṣe kí ni ó tó kẹ́ fi ṣiṣẹ́ example ti wà àwọn chairman kan ọdún mẹ́rin náà lò a dẹ̀ rí nǹkan tó ń ṣe in fact àwọn chairman kan lọ́dún mẹ́rin gómìnà ti lọ sọ́dọ̀ wọn deputy governor ti lọ speaker ti lọ because wọ́n ní nǹkan tó ń ṣe lọ́tọ̀ọ̀tọ̀ láàrin ọdún mẹ́rin so ní excuse o chairman our candidates you have everything working for you you have all the support of the leadership of the party. Once you get in there, by the grace of Almighty God, you are responsible to your people to ensure that the dividends, your promises to them, is actualized. And you are the one that is closest to the citizens. The federal will do their own, the state will continue to support you, but you have a call of duty. You have a responsibility to your citizens. Indigent, less privileged among your citizens, you must be able to take care of them and give them opportunity for life. Economic development and economic sustainability is one of your responsibility. And so we don't have any excuse. You are the one that have said you want to serve. And so at this level, it is a call to service. It is a call to service. You and your vice chair, they are joint tickets. There should not be any acrimony. there should not be any division. The vice chairman should always know that their chairman is their chairman. That's the number one person in the local government. And you accord and give them all the necessary support. Don't ever come and say that your own group is bigger than the chairman's group. There's nothing like that. That's your chairman. And he will remain your chairman. But the chairman will give you your deserving respect and recognition. And to the councillors, they have a constitutional responsibility. They have. Encourage them to discharge their own responsibility. And you will see that your local government LCDA will continue to flourish and will continue to do well. Once again, I want to thank you all for honoring our call today. I want to thank you all for coming out in large number to come and listen and to come and take back home the message that will be delivered to you. To go back and go and the message that will be delivered to you. To go back and go and make sure that you do your door-to-door, your word-to-word engagement and encourage our citizens, our voters to come out en masse July 12 and vote for you. To validate, give you authenticity on the seat you want to occupy. And God Almighty will make it happen for you. God Almighty will make it happen for you. God Almighty will make it happen for you. But let us work hard. Group kan ló gbé yín débẹ̀ o. Party ló gbé yín débẹ̀ o. Rí group lórí bọ́lọ́pọ̀ rí group ọkọ̀dakọ̀ party. Tẹ́ bá dẹ̀ ti débẹ̀, tẹ́ bá ti win yẹn, tọ́lọ́run bá ti fi síbẹ̀. Ẹ má wá pín pé eléyìí ló ṣe kíní kan, kò sí nǹkan tó jẹ bẹ́ẹ̀ o. À ń fi group ṣe nǹkan kan bí òun la jókòó yìí o. Ẹ jọ̀ọ́ nítorí Ọlọ́run. Everybody is a stakeholder. Be fair. Make sure that it is the greatest good for the greatest number. Be fair, be equitable to everyone. And that's what will make your reign and your tenure be profitable and be useful. Once again, I want to thank the chairman of our party. I want to thank your leadership. I want to thank the campaign committee who will be going from local government to local government and also at the various senatorial. I want to thank our two senatorial campaign leaders. I want to thank everyone that has been a stakeholder on this journey and to say that the journey has just started. Please, the same way we have turned out today, let us give all of them at our local government all the needed support. All the needed support. Former chairman, ex-chairman, gbogbo yín ni mò ń wò. Former. All of you. Abubakar àti ẹ̀mọ́ ìwé ní tiẹ̀, former àti all of you. Ọ̀nà àdé ẹ̀ kó ṣeé ṣe o. Nígbà tá a máa tún ríra bí ìjókòó báyìí, ìjókòó ayọ̀ ni o. Ajẹ́jókòó bóyá a fẹ́ ṣe swearing níjọ́ náà lọ́hùn ni o. Ọlọ́run dẹ̀ ní fi kankan nu wa. Ọ̀níwá wa ti o.
Àmín.
Ọ̀níwá wa ti o.
Àṣẹ.
Àní dúró ìṣẹ́jú kan fún yàn kankan o.
Àmín.
Ìtókù tọ́jọ́ ẹ máa fi dé Ọlọ́run á fà bóyín á fi bo gbogbo wa o.
Àmín.
Kò ní accident lọ́nà o.
Àmín.
Ẹ ṣe ẹ yanrí sí rere.
Àmín.
Ẹ campaign á bọ́ sí dáadáa.
Àmín.
Àásù ẹ̀yìn lágbára Ọlọ́run.
Àmín.
Àwọn tọ́dẹ̀ wá bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí náà àwọn náà di fọ́mà.
Àmín.
Lára wọn. Àbí? Kò sí kankan. Gọ́vùnà náà ó ti ṣọdún mẹ́fà. Ókè ọ̀tẹ̀ ni máa gé kéèkì sí. In 2 years òun náà máa di fọ́mà. Àwọn náà jókòó sí bíi ni. Èèyàn kò ń ṣe tán. Wàá ṣe tó máa ṣe kọ́lọ́ ń bẹ́ẹ̀ fi ìbùkún sí. former senator 1B, former House of Rep member 1B, former chairman 1B, former councillor, former.
Ẹ pàtẹ́wọ́ fún Mr. Governor. Ẹ pàtẹ́wọ́ fún Mr. Governor.
Do your own B. Do your own. Ọlọ́run dẹ̀ rí i pé òye ṣe káwọn èèyàn kọ́ rí i pé o ṣe tọkàntọkàn. Mo fẹ́ dúpẹ́ pé wọ́n tún fún mi ní orí ọ̀fẹ́. Ọlọ́run la máa dúpẹ́ fún un pé wọ́n ní sísè ẹ̀mọ́kọ́ máa ń ṣàwọn cartoon kan tó máa yí báyìí eléyìí ò tiẹ̀ ṣe yí ẹ̀wọ́n tó bá lọ pé yàn máa rí cartoon kan wọ́n á ṣe 51 wọ́n á yí padà á jẹ́ 15 lọ́mọ yẹn àbí bẹ́ẹ̀ kọ́ ṣé ti máa yélé 06 kọ́ ló máa bọ́ sí yẹn ìyẹn ò ṣe yí
kò ṣe yí mọ́
bẹ́ẹ̀ wọ́n dẹ̀ bá mi yí sí bí 44 àbí 40.
àbí tó bá jẹ́ AI tó bá jẹ́ AI.
ẹ fẹ́ lè tẹ invite mi sí 60 ni kí n máa bọ̀ ń bẹ̀. Pedi. Okay. Chairman, Eshegoni, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Governor. Thank you. I have the honor to invite Mr. Governor, member of the GAC, photographer, chap. After the GAC,
can we have members of the House of Assembly?
Thank you. The GAC to follow. The GAC to follow, sharp.
Our GAC leaders.
Ẹ jọ̀ọ́, ẹ má disturb governor, ẹ má bá wọn sọ̀rọ̀ later. GAC. After and so shall it be. Ẹ ṣé. Members of National Assembly to come forward, sharp. NAS. Party ESCO to follow.
Members
Party
of
ESCO.
the National Assembly.
National Assembly.
Honorable Oshun.
Oyaya lẹ́yìn National Assembly. Kí Party ESCO kó follow.
Labinjo.
Okay. Ẹ ṣé o. Members of National Assembly. I know all of you have been here today. You are resuming today. I really appreciate those of you that are here with us. State ESCO of the party. State ESCO of the party. Sharp.
Ibo la máa gbé òòṣà sí báyìí. Òòṣà ẹ má máa break table. Council
Cabinet member to follow. Cabinet. Oyaya, ẹ ṣé Party ESCO. Cabinet. Cabinet. Àǹtí ẹlẹ́lẹ́lẹ́lẹ́ ìrópọ̀. Ó ti yà yín. Cabinet, please. Cabinet. After cabinet, council chairman. Please, ẹ lọ jókòó ẹ tí bá ti ya fọ́tò yẹn. Cabinet. After cabinet, the council chairman. God bless you. Cabinet member, God bless you. Etikpe. Yeah. Etebati ya small governor keba oya. Oti ya yin. Oti mu ile furefe. Council chairman. SA head, go and sit down. Council chairman, please. Council chairman. Party chairman. Eshiya Kotemaya. After this, Mr. Governor will go and sit down. Take position. Now why are you arguing? Àti ya gbogbo yín lórúkọ ti bàbá. Àti ya gbogbo lórúkọ ti ọmọ. Àti ya lórúkọ ti ọmọ. Jésù Olúwa wa ẹ lọ jókòó. Please go sit down. Go sit down. Thank you. And I call on the chairman of Ibeju, Olowa, to come and respond on behalf of his colleagues. Olowa, please.
Oloja. Market women, market men. Àwa Oloja. Oya o. Ọlọ́jà. Àwa ọlọ́jà àtàjèrè. Gbogbo ọlọ́jà àtàjèrè. Wọ́n ní tán bá ti ṣe tán kí campaign committee dúró. Gbogbo ọlọ́jà àtàjèrè ní.
A ò kì í ṣe.
Àtàjèrè. Tẹ́ bá fẹ́ ṣẹgbẹ́ ọjà ẹ lọ.
Ọmọ ọlọ́jà ni wá. Ọmọ ọlọ́jà ni wá o.
Àwa tún ni.
Àwa tún ni olóṣè. Ọmọ ọlọ́jà ni wá.
Ẹ ṣé o. Wọ́n ní ìgbà gómìnà lọ jókòó báyìí o. Ẹ jẹ́ kí Mr. Gómìnà lọ jókòó. Kí Honourable Ṣẹ̀san Abdullahi Ọlọ́wà.
Welcome back from the live telecast. We'll now continue with our regular programs. Stay tuned.
To their adversary within this region. And this is why one would hope, like I said before, that this conflict comes to an immediate halt and that steps be taken to ensure lasting resolution. Because the ceasefire which has been arranged is simply because the interest of the U.S., you remember U.S. base in Qatar was threatened. That's right. And then, of course, Israel. This just cannot continue. And the powers recognize that. So they're just trying to put a stop to this. But in the deal that has been worked out, we haven't seen anything concrete to suggest that the permanent resolution of the conflict is being addressed. We just want a temporary ceasefire.
Good place to leave it. Thank you so much for your contribution, Mr. Bayo Oluwake, on the show.
Thank you for having me.
Well, let's turn our attention now to the legacy of June 12, which is once again under scrutiny following former Governor Lamido's claim that President Tinubu supported the annulment of the 1993 election. The presidency, of course, has fired back, calling it a distortion of history. In a detailed rebuttal, Presidential Advisor Bayo Onanuga insists President Tinubu condemned the annulment even before Abacha's coup and dismissed claims that his mother mobilized support for the military. So what's the truth behind this heated historical dispute? Let's bring in OSAT director, veteran journalist, constitutional lawyer, and a man who himself paid the price for democracy under the Abacha regime to help us separate fact from fiction. Thanks for joining us on the program this evening. We have just about 10 minutes, but let's start with the controversy. As someone who lived and fought through the June 12 era, how do you react to this development? Was Bola Tinubu a key player in the early days of the pro-democracy resistance, or do Lamido's claims carry any weight?
Frankly speaking, it will amount to falsification of history and the distortion of the immutable facts of history to state that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu did not contribute to fight for the annulment of June 12, or did not contribute to the struggle for democracy that started after the annulment of June 12, 1992 presidential election, which was widely acclaimed to have been won by Chief MQ Abiola. I've always told a lot of my colleagues that these are part of the challenges I have with elite politics in Nigeria. Our political elites tend to approximate the emotion of the president to distort historical facts. For the fact that you would disagree with the way and manner President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is running the country right now, it's not an excuse to wish away his democratic credentials and his contribution under the in the period under reference. So I would say, frankly speaking, that that is not true. President Bola Tinubu was a frontline member of the National Democratic Coalition, and even before then, as a reporter for one of the pro-democracy magazines, that's Tell magazine, I had the opportunity to occasionally report the National Assembly from Abuja. If you will recall, then self-styled military president Ibrahim Badamasi Babangida, famously known as IBB, embarked on a convoluted transition program and was unwilling to hand over power, which made pro-democracy magazines like Tell, The News, and Temple to start screaming from the rooftop that this man is intent on not leaving or handing over power to civilian regime. And in the process, he put in what you can call a diarchical arrangement, where you have civilian governors and you have a National Assembly. The National Assembly was sworn in on November 14, 1992, and Bola Ahmed Tinubu was a senator representing Lagos State. I vividly recall one particular incident that after the annulment of June 12, the Senate was sharply divided between pro-democracy forces and military apologists. And Bola Ahmed Tinubu was one of the pro-democracy forces. And the then Senate President, Iyorchia Ayu, was on the part of the pro-democracy forces. I remember this particular debate on the floor of the House that Bola Tinubu was so emotional that he almost physically attacked. And the man who later became governor of Borno State, Ali Modu Sheriff, who was on the other side, that they cannot and they should not remove or impeach Iyorchia Ayu as Senate President. Of course, finally, they did, and Ahmed Bute was sworn in as Senate President. So I'm saying that even before Nandeko coalition came into existence, when the June 12 was immediately annulled, and when the National Assembly was still in place, Bola Ahmed Tinubu showed those flashes and effusions of a Democrat by insisting that we must ensure that June 12 is de-annulled.
For the former governor, Sule Lamido, he did suggest that many of the prominent Nadeko figures only emerged after Abacha took over. So, in your recollection, how did the resistance evolve from June 12 through the Babangida transition and into the Abacha years? And who, in your opinion, were the real frontliners at each stage?
Yeah, to a large extent, he has some, there's a lot of truth in what he said in that regard. And that was because some of the Nigerian political elites were still believing, an average politician is always hopeful. They were thinking Babangida would truly hand over power. So the majority of those who resisted Babangida and saw through the smoke screen from the beginning were mainly the pro-democracy media organizations. Tel Magazine, The News, Tempo, then Punch, and The Guardian. And they suffered severe consequences for it. And you also have the brilliant and dogged members of the civil society. People like Olisak Bakoba, Chief Gani Fawemi, Bekor Ransom-Kuti, and young talks like Sylvester Dion Haine, Kimo Bani, Bamdele Aturu, Richard Akiola, and the rest. So I would say that initially, the coalition that fought and resisted military rule were not the politicians. We have to be fair. They were the students. The students then, National Association of Nigerian Students was very vibrant, where you have young men then like Mahmoud Aminu, the president of NANS. They were sentenced to jail multiple times for resisting the military, for even resisting the structural adjustment program. So I would say conclusively, and without fear of equivocation, that it was the students, the civil society, and the pro-democracy media organization that I earlier highlighted that formed the bulk of resistance, the bulwark to military rule. It was really after the annulment of the election that the politicians, their eye became open and clear that yes, truly and truly, what these young men in the media and the civil society have been saying is true.
Absolutely.
Then they now decided to form an umbrella body. That's why it was named National Democratic Coalition, NADECO, so as to pilot and drive the process of terminating military rule.
I hear you clearly, Mr. Director, but there's a deeper issue here beyond President Tinubu. Are you concerned that Nigeria's democratic history is being politicized or even rewritten by those in power today? How do we guard against that kind of historical revisionism?
Yes, I am very, very and deeply worried. And that's why I've told most of my colleagues who participated in that era that we can't be alive and allow revisionists to rewrite our history for us. And that every one of us who played a role then should put pen on paper and also state the role you played. I want to say without any iota of doubt that I was lucky to have been at the center of the struggle for democracy as a journalist then. There is no Nigerian journalist that interviewed and interacted with NADECO abroad more than I did. I practically interviewed every member, interacted with every member of the National Democratic Coalition who were in exile in the United States and United Kingdom, from Chief Anthony Nahoro to Senator Bola Ahmed Tinubu, as he then was, to General Ani Akirande, Professor Bolaji Akinyemi, Chief John Odige Oyegun, and my main man, Senator Tokunbo Afikuyomi. And they were even joined by young Nigerian professionals who were already based abroad. People like Professor Chidi Odinkalu, Kayode Fayemi, Ike Okonta, who was initially in the news and now went abroad. People like the late Oronto Douglas, So I am in a position to be concerned, and I'm also in a position to say I can identify at least 80% of the young men and women, and even the elders who participated in that democratic era. I remember that I interviewed Senator Bola Ahmed Tinubu, as he then was, in the United Kingdom in April 1996. When I was coming back to Nigeria, I was arrested along the NADECO route, and I was detained for about 5 hours. I had to buy my way out with all the foreign currency I had. So in 1997, when I got back to UK, they said Bola Tinubu had relocated to US. I went to the US, and on the 29th of May, because it was my birthday, 1997, I interviewed Bola Tinubu again in his house in Bowie, Maryland.
Correct.
And we published that article in Tel, where he said, Abacha told me he voted for MKO Abiola. So we know those who participated in the struggle
Mr. Director,
for democracy.
You are a national treasure yourself. I mean, we have to keep this conversation going. We are lucky to still have you, and of course we're going to find time to continue this conversation so that we can separate fact from fiction and also get the narrative right. But we're completely out of time now. But be sure that this is a Conversation we have to keep having. Veteran journalist and constitution lawyer, also director, thank you so much for joining us on Beyond the Headlines. And that's our show today, everyone. You can watch it again at midnight and at 6 a.m. tomorrow. I am Nifemi Oguntoye.
Decades, the Bank of Industry, BOI, has been driving Nigeria's industrial development through financial and business support services.
Bank of Industry is one organization that has kept their words with the Nigerian businesses.
I have been able to expand my business from catering, event management, into water production.
A single digit that Bank of Industry offers is the only solution to stay afloat.
BOI Impact, now showing Tuesdays, 9:30 p.m. on TVC News.
Every second, every minute, every hour, and every day, time doesn't just tick away. It counts down to political decisions that shape our world.
This country must move.
Imagine the impact these decisions have on our lives. Some are consequential, others may leave us intrigued or baffled.
You will have no better friend and partner than Nigeria.
Step in and feel the frenzy like never before. Join me every weekday for an hour of fact-finding interviews where questions cut to the core.
How would you say your administration has fared in these sectors?
I will dig in to get to the heart of issues, from local politics to global insight. Join me as I unearth the power plays, jaw-dropping revelations, and the unfiltered truth. This isn't just politics, it's unraveling the stories that matter. Brace yourself for Politics Tonight every weekday at 8 p.m., where every decision echoes along the corridors of our lives. Politics Tonight, only on TVC News.
Every major news story is with many perspectives and layered with different levels of impact.
Hello. What time did this happen? We will be right there.
At TVC News, we follow the big and major news, gathering the facts, witnessing the outcome.
I am here live at the aftermath of the approval of the new national minimum wage.
We are TV Station of the Year, not just for breaking news, but for being first, fair and accurate. TVC News, first with breaking news.
At TVC News, wherever the big news story is happening, we're geared up to break it. TVC News, first with breaking news.
Doubt and fear doesn't occur at the canvas. It shows in the canvas. It shows the conation of raw earthen material slabs.
Hello and welcome to another fascinating episode of Customs Duty, brought to you by the Nigeria Customs Service. In this week's package, National Security Advisor hosts Honors Comptroller General of Customs, Director General NAFDAC and Chairman MDLEA. Comptroller General of Customs rejigs Operation Wild Wing, task officers on integrity and dedication. Other reports about the service's activities will also come your way, including the regular Customs Hub segment where we get you informed on issues that relate to import and excise duty collection. Thank you for joining us. I am Hafsat Oreme Ibrahim. Please stay tuned and get informed. We will be right back.
The National Security Advisor, Malam Nuhu Ribadu, host Comptroller General of Customs, Director General, National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control, NAFDAC, and Chairman, National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA, represented. The reason for this engagement is no doubt connected with success achieved by the three agencies of government in destruction of containers of unwholesome pharmaceutical products and narcotics.
This, our own little sitting here, is a symbol of what we can achieve when we come together. Working as one, a platform that all will come together and we will defeat evil. We have done it. We have seen it. Taking 200 and something containers out of the market, is an amazing feat. And it's still counting. We are doing more, and we are not going to relent. Right now, we have over thousands of firearms and ammunitions that are built for destruction. That illegal things will be used to kill our people. We are facing challenges from banditry, kidnapping, the jihadis, the sick people. Those are the things they use. Drugs, arms, and ammunition to torture and torment our people, destroy our way of life. We are going to the root cause of it. What we are doing is going to the fundamental reasons why this thing has been ongoing and going for too long.
In his submission, the Comptroller General of Customs, Bashir Adewale Adini, gives further assurances of diligence.
We will remain very, very vigilant to ensure that these controlled substances do not get into unauthorized hands. We, by then, ensure that the oxygen that which these criminals need to breathe is denied them.
While stressing commitment of NAFDAC to its mandate, Professor Adeye also sees collaboration as paramount.
NAFDAC as an organization that is mandated to regulate and control the manufacture, the importation, the distribution, sale and use of drugs among 7 other regulated products, has taken their job seriously, but it was based on our national action plan. NAFDAC also formed strategic partnership with NDLEA. We signed an MOU the same day with Customs. Because without strategic partnerships, we cannot collaborate.
As he acknowledges the role of the Office of the National Security Advisor, the Chairman NDLEA represented also re-echoes the benefits of collaboration among the three agencies.
Indeed, we're so happy with the coordination that is coming from your office. We've taken the benefit of this coordination to deepen our work with our partners, particularly NAFDAC and Customs. We have seen over the years that the work we do at the ports without Customs and NAFDAC would have been difficult for us. The coordination, which is also coming between the three agencies, including the port authorities, is helping for the ease of doing business at the ports.
Malam Nuhu Ribadu uses the medium to honor the three agencies through their leaders in appreciation of their efforts at enhancing the security of the nation and welfare of the citizenry. Meanwhile, Malam Nuhu Ribadu has earlier conveyed the gratitude of President Ahmed Tinubu to leadership and the entire staff of the three agencies so honored for their patriotism and commitment to the Nigerian cause. As it intensifies efforts at sustaining the success being recorded by Operation Whirlwind in stemming smuggling and diversion of petroleum products, and even improving on such successes, the Nigeria Customs Service rejigs the team by inducting new officers. The Comptroller General of Customs encourages.
You must consider this a special privilege that you have been found worthy to be called upon to be part of this operation, which holds very strategic importance to national security and our economic development. I want to welcome new members into the operations. I want to charge you to be dedicated to your assignment. You have the opportunity to write your name in gold using this exercise. You have that opportunity to walk in the Hall of Fame of the country and of the nation and of the service. You also have an opportunity to show yourself the way out of the service if you are found to have compromised your position in any way during this exercise. Let me repeat, this exercise is a very, very sensitive exercise. And because we're working with the Office of the National Security Advisor, we have all the opportunities and the resources to monitor you real time, to see what is going on in your places of postings, to know what is happening to you, what you are doing privately, and all of that. Don't let me go beyond that.
Bashir Adeni underscores the significance of the operation.
Though this operation was meant to be a short-term interventionist operation, we have found the necessity to keep this operation running, to sustain it, and make some strategic changes in response to the changing dynamics in the operational environment. So we needed to be a little bit more flexible. What we are doing today is just one part of it, the changes in personnel to ensure that we reinvigorate the team, we bring in fresh blood, and then we brought in a controller to serve as the deputy to the national coordinator.
He emphasizes the need for collaboration and selflessness in service delivery.
We are doing this in conjunction with the Office of National Security Advisor and the agency responsible for the downstream sector of fuel, the NNPC. So partnership is important, and in fighting this scourge of fuel smuggling, we will still continue to leverage partnership. The second is integrity. We must always be found to be above board on all matters. Ensure that at any point in time, your integrity is not compromised and you are not found to have abused your position on this operation. The third and the most important thing is the fact that customs, like all these other agencies that we mentioned, are very, very relevant to the success or to the vision of ensuring that there is fuel availability, product availability in Nigeria, and that Nigerian fuel remains in Nigeria, that Nigerian fuels are not smuggled under any guise. So the last objective of this is that through this operation, Nigeria Customs must deliver impactful service to the nation.
National Coordinator, Operation Whirlwind, Assistant Comptroller General Hussein Ejibunu, has earlier stressed that the team's continued success depends on strategic execution of operations, discipline, and individual commitment, while encouraging officers to sustain the tempo and operational momentum already established. The Comptroller General of Customs, Bashir Adewale Adeni, MFR, is on a working visit to Oyo-Osun Command. It is a moment which has offered him yet another forum to reaffirm the service's commitment to enhancing trade facilitation and operational efficiency. As he speaks with officers and men of the command, Bashir Adeni stresses the uniquely strategic position of the Oyo-Osun Command.
Every form of customs procedure happens in this command. So you can talk about enforcement, those are the border stations. You can talk about revenue, those in who come to make payments. Then you can talk about excise, and that's why we see operation in Oyo Osun Command as being very, very strategic and important to the operations of Nigeria Customs Service. So when you're here, it is a very, it's a very big call to service. And if you are posted to any of these strategic places that we have talked about, it's even a higher responsibility. It's something that places a bigger responsibility on your shoulder, because as they say in football, your eyes must be on the ball all of the time. What you do or what you do not do might mean the end of business for some concerns. If, for example, you are to allow raw materials to come in for production and you delay it or you do not allow it to happen, then production is stalled. If you are in the gate and you are to allow finished products to go out and you do not, then you have stalled their production. If you are in the border area and you allow offensive goods, arms and ammunition to come out, to come into the country, it may have repercussion with all the security breaches that we have.
As a way of guaranteeing the service's brighter future, the Comptroller General of Customs assures.
Our administration will give priority to capacity building because we do know and we have seen very, very obviously that the future belongs to you, the future of the service belongs to you. On your own, you must make efforts to learn, to relearn, to unlearn whatever you must have learned before to brace up for the challenges ahead. Your career growth is going to be a product of a number of things, but most of these things will revolve around what you can do by yourself. Most of it will depend on the personal efforts that you are making by yourself to be a better customs officer, to be a more professional customs officer, to be an officer that can take charge of situation.
Meanwhile, Customs Area Controller Oyo Osun Command, Comptroller Joseph Adelaja, has earlier intimated the Comptroller General of his command's revenue collection of 28.05 billion naira between February and May 2025, surpassing last year's collection of 23.84 billion naira during the same period. He has also disclosed the seizure of prohibited goods with over 917 million naira duty-paid value by the command. The visit also sees Bashir Adewale Adeni visit and inspect the Ibadan train station terminal and a prospective private bonded warehouse. The bonded facility, he believes, once operational, would significantly enhance cargo clearance and ease flow of legitimate trade in the region. The African Public Relations Association's 36th annual conference with the theme Transforming Africa Through Safe and Responsible Digital Communication holds. The event, which has brought together over 500 delegates, comprising communication scholars, corporate leaders, government representatives, and international partners, one of whom is the Customs National Public Relations Officer, Assistant Comptroller Abdullahi Mewada, who represents the Nigeria Customs Service, coincides with the 50th anniversary of the association and seeks to reflect on the evolution of public relations and chart a sustainable path for the next 50 years. Abdullahi Mewada presents a paper titled Leveraging Data Analytics for Effective Public Relations Practice in the Nigeria Customs Service.
About the Nigeria Customs Service, and this is one of the way we use data. Now, how data analytics influence media relations now? In terms of media relations, tracking media trends is also another very important. Measuring media sentiments, targeted press engagement, and crisis communication readiness. Those are areas now. This is how we visualize data. First, generate raw data. We all understand the traditional newspaper cuttings that do take place in the 80s, 70s, up to today. Now, what we did in the Nigeria Customs Service is to look at newspaper cuttings and create a data out of that newspaper cuttings. And I'll just give you an understanding of how the print newspapers report your activities, either in terms of positive or negative or neutral comment, the type of stories, it will be editorial.
He notes the visionary leadership of the Comptroller General of Customs, Bashir Adewale Adeniyi, MFR, which has enabled the Nigeria Customs Service embrace a proactive communication model that aligns with global digital engagement and reputation management standards. The occasion has given opportunity to various speakers who have presented papers in divergent topics. They include President of the Global Alliance for Public Relations and Communication Management, Professor Justin Green, President of Nigerian Institute of Public Relations, NIPR, Dr. Ike Neliaku, and Esther Koba, President-elect of the International Public Relations Association, who gives the goodwill message.
Once again, urges African public relations practitioners to be proactive and ensure that the African voice, especially the voice of Africa's youth, gains wider and deeper attention globally. Congratulations to APRA on this 50th anniversary commemoration, and I hope to see you all in Accra in October.
The conference has also given Nigeria the right to host APRA Conference 2026.
Government and the people of Nigeria, we are happy to be here, and we accept this with all our heart and passion.
With the countdown to APRA 2026 already on, the Nigeria Customs Service is ready and determined to contribute meaningfully to shaping Africa's future communication agenda based on innovation, integrity, and data-backed storytelling. The documents are signed, and now the handover of ammunitions and cartridges intercepted by Port and Terminal Multi-Services Limited, PTML Command.
On behalf of the Comptroller General of Nigeria Customs Service, I use the opportunity to hand this over to Coordinator Southwest.
Comptroller Tenny Daniel reveals how the interception has come by.
It has to do with the vigilance of our officers on the field. This only came by proper 100%, if not even more than 100% examination, because we go beyond the normal examination by trying to turn the vehicles around, open where you ought to open. They even hide some of them in the tank cover. That will tell you how these things are hidden inside the foam of the seats. So that's how they came by.
The Customs Area Controller discloses the steps taken by the command and what the findings are.
We had to do a search, do an investigation to determine whether these importations were deliberate. And from investigation, it shows that no, that most of those vehicles were bought online. And they only came down here. It's during the examination that even the owners or the agents got to know their vehicles. So what we do in this sense is that we know that these vehicles are not actually, the importation is not actually the arms and ammunition because of the quantity. But as the case is, whether it's one or half, the mandate we have here is that we must bring out everything because it's zero tolerance for any form of arms and ammunition.
Despite the findings of the investigation not indicting any importer, Comptroller Daniel says the command is not taking anything for granted.
Yeah, we have been dialoguing with them, telling them that when they are buying their vehicles, they will ensure that such things from the source they are buying is neat. However, most of them don't even know. It is at examination point, as I said earlier, that they get to know.
Having received the intercepted ammunition and cartridges on behalf of National Center for the Control of Small Arms and Light Weapons, Commissioner of Police Alamutu Abiodun, retired, comments.
I see this as a symbolic one because having this breakthrough and the subsequent handing over is a testament to our collective effort in combating the challenges of illicit arms proliferation in the country. And this will further educate other agencies that as it is the National Center that has the sole mandate to retrieve such arms and ammunition from any agency across the country. One is enough to cause sufficient damage to the country. So we are happy about this development, and we are sure this synergy will continue.
The ammunition intercepted have been extracted from 2 new vehicles imported through the command. Hello, and welcome to the segment Customs Hub on Customs Duty. This segment summarizes some of the activities of the Nigeria Customs Service regarding weekly revenue generation from import duty, excise duty, and other levies. We take a look at the total number of pre-arrival assessment reports issued and revenue generated from Friday 6 June 2025 to Thursday 12 June 2025. The total amount of pre-arrival assessment reports, also known as PAR, issued for the week amounts to 2,057. The Nigeria Customs Service generated a total of 228,799,704,731 naira 56 kobo in revenue for the week. On excise duty collection, the Nigeria Customs Service collected the sum of 3,108,476,937 naira 56 kobo. That concludes the segment Customs Hub.
This is where we draw the curtains on this week's episode of Customs Duty. For more information, you can always follow us on our social media handles now being displayed on your screen. You could also visit our website at www.customs.gov.ng for more updates about the service. Don't forget to shun smuggling, strive to be a patriotic citizen, a compliant trader, and always pay the correct duty to make Nigeria a more prosperous nation. Remember, nation building is everyone's responsibility for the purpose of growth and development, so do your part. See you same time next week. I remain your anchor, Hafsat Oreme Ibrahim. Bye-bye for now.
Smooth Chapman is now in a new label. It's the same great taste, but with a fresh new look. Just grab a bottle of Smooth and smooth it. Smooth Chapman, available in stores near you.
Fresh label, same taste, smooth it. Smooth it.
The following is a paid presentation by ShopX TV.
This Salah, don't just celebrate. Celebrate smart with ShopX TV. For a limited time only, enjoy up to 50% off our best-selling products. That's thousands of naira in savings, but only while stock lasts. Let's kick things off with the ultimate kitchen game changer, the Cook.
Imagine a country with over 300 plenty languages. Why you go the only focus on Yoruba, Hausa, and Igbo? Where we get a common language where they unite everybody from Oga to even Madam self and every person where they for street. That's now why we dey introduce you 89.9 Yanga FM, the #1 urban pidgin radio station where they unite us all. From the award-winning breakfast show Waiting Day with your brother, your friend Wale Po.
Everywhere.
It a joke for this time.
This na Cruise Express.
And this go be the best 4 hours of our life. Country people, make una join us.
Now we be What's Up Naija crew. Now we they give you wetin dey sup for inside we country.
Yes, so
keep it locked.
If God be your papa, why you not gonna make Yanga?
About Wahala.
Now here we dey settle all the matter.
Bro, we
here. Nobody better than we, right?
Okay, now whispers be that. Make I just be the last sensible voice where you go here.
Now we be 89.9 Yanga FM.
Doubt and fear doesn't occur at the canvas, it shows in the canvas. It shows the conation of raw ether material slabbed, stroked, and molded at a pace provided by the doubt and fear. Every move way in the struggle of one to the other, merging the past to the present, brushstrokes of colors seen but not known. For when the wailing stops, the pieces settle down in abject beauty, erected for a century of a century. Speaking, advocating, protesting as the arts are meant to be.
At TVC News, wherever the big news story is happening, we're geared up to break it. TVC News, first with breaking news.
Senate approves extension of capital component of the 2024 budget, resets its expiration to 31st of December 2025. House of Representatives to investigate the recent killing of 13 wedding guests in Mangu community, Plateau State. And outside Nigeria, U.S. President Donald Trump lashes out at Israel and Iran, accuses them of violating the ceasefire deal. Coming up in sports tonight, Wimbledon organizers to honor two-time champion Andy Murray with a statue at the All England Club. You're watching TVC News at 7. I am Nifemi Oguntoye. Vice President Kashim Shettima says Nigeria and Brazil are united by a common heritage and shared purpose as they officially opened the second session of the Nigeria-Brazil Strategic Dialogue in Abuja. He described the partnership between the two nations as a model for South-South cooperation, grounded in mutual respect and pragmatic ambition. Vice President Shettima also highlighted Nigeria's emerging demographic influence on the global stage. The Vice President emphasized that the Nigeria-Brazil Strategic Dialogue is not a ceremonial gathering but a working platform built to drive implementation, collaboration, and tangible progress across key sectors. The Vice President of Brazil, Geraldo Alckmin, and his wife were received earlier by Deputy Chief of Staff to the President, Ibrahim Adija, Minister of Industry, Trade and Investment, Jumoke Oduwole, Minister of Livestock Development, Idi Maya, and Minister of Agriculture and Food Security, Abubakar Kyari, as well as other senior Nigerian government officials. During the three-day summit, more than 30 memoranda of understanding will be signed across critical sectors. TVC State House correspondent Femi Akode joins me now for more on this development. Femi, the Vice President is speaking boldly about what this collaboration means for both countries. 30 memoranda of understanding to be signed. What more do we know?
Well, indeed, it's a strategic alliance between Brazil and Nigeria. Already, the deal between the two countries, especially in the area of agriculture alone, is worth $1 billion. That is for agriculture alone. This is expected to improve the whole value chain around the agricultural sector, create more jobs, and also ensure that agriculture becomes the mainstay, not just for the federal government, but indeed for sub-nationals, especially that this investment trickles down to the rural farmers, especially in far-to-reach areas, ensure that, everything they need, access to roads to move their goods from the farm to the market and all the whole value chain in terms of storage and processing are provided for them. Also in livestock development, Brazil is seriously interested in helping Nigeria develop its livestock. And you know that the Ministry of Livestock Development is the newest ministry created by President Bola Tinubu's administration. They are already looking at how they can help in dairy production, processing of meat or beef, and other critical areas in this sector to grow the economy. The Vice President of Brazil also met with President Bola Tinubu, where he also pointed out the similarities between both countries, not just in terms of culture now. He is also talking about political similarities. Brazil is run by a progressive government, likewise Nigeria by a progressive political party, and he said all of these are what should bind the two countries together. President Bola Tinubu will be traveling to Brazil in about 2 weeks' time to continue talks. Already just today alone, 7 memorandum of understanding have been signed. We expect about 30 to be signed within a space of 3 days, and all of these will then be formalized, and all of these agreements will be fine-tuned when President Bola Tinubu travels to Brazil in 2 weeks' time. Nifemi.
These meetings have been well attended by high-profile cabinet members. The presidency is also prioritizing this collaboration. But is it clear as to the time frame within which Nigerians can begin to feel the benefit of all of these collaborations?
Well, already, according to the Minister of Industry, Trade and Investment, there is already about over $2 million investment from Brazil in Nigeria, following President Bola Tinubu's attendance or participation at the G20 summit, where he met with President Lula da Silva on the sidelines of that global event. And that's where this whole talks about strengthening cooperation and improving trade ties started. We have seen investors come in from Brazil to Nigeria, to states like Kebbi State. We have also seen states like Kaduna and Niger State also, make some outreach to some companies in Brazil, and they have been able to attract them to Nigeria. Some of them have already started work. Most of them have started building their plants, processing plant, or this particular investment in especially agriculture is already underway as we speak. Jobs are being created, but jobs are also already being created, and we hear from the minister that this is already worth more than $2 million and still counting, with believing that with further engagement, more monies in terms of foreign direct investment will be attracted to Nigeria. Femi
Akonde live for us in Abuja. Thank you for the updates there, Femi.
Thanks, Femi.
And moving on to the National Assembly, where the Senate today approved a bill to amend the 2024 Appropriation Act, extending the capital component of the budget from 30th of June to 31st of December 2025. And this is the second time the capital spending timeline is being extended, aimed at facilitating ongoing procurement processes and the completion of key capital projects. Lawmakers expressed concern over the persistent delays in capital budget implementation. They are asking the Committees on Finance and Appropriations to intensify oversight to ensure effective execution moving forward. To fast-track the process, the Senate suspended Rule 78, subsection 1, allowing for the first, second, and third readings of the bill all in one sitting. And the House of Representatives is set to investigate the recent killing of 13 wedding guests in Mangu, Plateau State. This comes as President Bola Tinubu declined the assent to the National Assembly Library Trust Fund Amendment Bill. Jakadisa has more.
The public outrage over the killing of some passengers in Mangu, Plateau State has not stopped since the unfortunate incident happened last week. Sadiq Abdullahi is from Kaduna State. He raised a matter of urgent public importance to condemn the killing of his kinsmen in Mangu, Plateau State. The lawmaker is not satisfied with the intervention of the Plateau State governor and wants a definite action taken to ensure justice is served. But the Speaker acknowledged that some steps have been taken so far by the Plateau State government as he assures his colleagues the process of achieving justice has been put in motion.
Despite previous resolutions of this Honorable House and repeated assurances from security agencies, attacks of this nature continue unabated, raising serious questions about the adequacy of security architecture and protection of lives and properties in Nigeria.
The House resolved to mandate its ad hoc committee on Plateau State crisis to probe the incident and submit its report in 14 days. Earlier, President Bola Tinubu, through a letter addressed to the Speaker, informed the House of his resolve to withhold assent to the National Assembly Library Trust Fund Amendment Bill.
Notwithstanding the laudable objectives of the legislation, certain provisions contained therein go against the settled law and policies of the federal government.
The Director General, National Health Insurance Scheme, will appear before the lawmakers to answer some pertinent questions as the House of Reps launches investigation into allegations of underperformance.
Despite the efforts of the government to adequately back NHIS, its funding is generally considered inadequate, and this causes delayed payments to healthcare providers such as the hospitals and clinics.
Nigeria's government party, APC, now has 2 additional members in the House of Representatives. The Speaker announced that Peter Akpanke of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, and Paul Nnamchi of Labour Party have now pitched their camp with the APC, citing irreconcilable party differences as reasons for their defection. For the second time, the House of Representatives is seeking to amend the 2024 Appropriation Act to extend the capital components of the budget from June 30 to December 31. The bill passed second reading, and it is to be considered at the Committee of Supply at the next legislative date. TVC News, Abuja.
Joke joins me now for more on this story. Let's begin with the withdrawal of assent for the National Assembly Library Trust Fund bill. Walk us through details as to why this was done and how the House of Assembly the House of Representatives has now responded.
Yes, thank you, Nifemi. What we saw today on the floor of the House is not something unusual. We have seen the President from time to time either assent to or decline his assent over any bill brought to him. So this time there is we have the National Assembly Library Trust Fund, and what the Parliament is seeking to do is to update that act to ensure that, and basically what it hopes to achieve is to clearly define the Governing Council of that fund, and to also widen the scope of the funding sources. But I think the details were not actually provided, but from the tone of that letter, of course, Mr. President is disposed to necessary amendments to the act, but is also disposed to signing this bill as soon as the right amendments are done, the corrections are made. So it's just about further strengthening the National Assembly Library Trust Fund and ensuring that the goal for which it was set up, of course, is achieved, is about strengthening the nation's structures, and also ensuring that the heritage is not lost, and it also develops enhanced reading ability and reading capacity of Nigerians, particularly lawmakers.
Jackie, the House is also investigating the killing of about 13 wedding guests in Plateau. We've seen a lot of reactions from Kaduna, Plateau State. We had the Commissioner for Information on the News last night, who confirmed that 22 persons have been arrested and that there seemed to be a coordination between both states in this regard. What is the scope of the House's investigation, especially considering committees of this like in the past?
Yes, what the House actually wants to do is to see that is also to contribute its own quota to this challenge at hand. If you look at now, the thrust of this probe will be to ensure that this particular axis where it has become notorious, like they have said, and that's often from time to time travelers are killed on that road, and so what they want is to put a stop to that. And more importantly for them is that those arrested are prosecuted and brought to justice. The belief is that if this is done, it will stop. It will deter a further occurrence. So this is basically what this is about, to ensure that Nigerians are free to move to any part of the country that they wish to travel to, and to also ensure that citizens live in peace and harmony. The cited Section 14, subsection 2 of the Nigerian Constitution, as amended, of course, which trusts the security and welfare of the citizens on the government. So they are hoping that this time they will be able to put an end to things like this. Though there is also the fear of reprisals, looking at the fact that this thing happened between some indigenes of a particular state, and it happened in another state. So the House is also trying to ensure that there is no reprisal attack as far as this incident is concerned.
Jackie is live for us in Abuja. Thank you for the update. Coming up on the news this hour, People's Democratic Party leadership meets with the Independent National Electoral Commission to resolve the issue of the party's national secretary at the commission's headquarters in Abuja. We have that story and more coming up shortly.
Coleman wires and cable. Great quality. Now with the new look.
The Nigerian national flag represents our country's history, culture, and identity. It was designed in 1959. The colors are Emerald Green 2.0, which represents agriculture, and Immaculate White represents unity and peace. Know how to handle our flag. Illuminate the environment or don't fly the flag overnight. Do not fly a dirty or tattered flag. Take such flag to the nearest National Orientation Agency office for proper disposal and replacement. The national flag can only be flown at half-mast on the directive of the federal government. The national flag must be flown at the same or higher height when displayed alongside other flags. Don't burn or allow the national flag to fall on the ground. Do not print, decorate, modify, or insert the coat of arms on the flag. Our national heroes are not buried with the flag. They are honored by presenting it to their next of kin during internment. Respect our national flag. Be a real Nigerian.
This message was brought to you by the National Orientation Agency, NOA.
You're watching TVC News at 7. A reminder of our top stories this hour. Senate approves extension of capital component of the 2024 budget, reset its expiration to 31st of December 2025. House of Representatives to investigate the recent killing of 13 wedding guests in Mango community in Plateau State. U.S. President Donald Trump lashes out at Israel and Iran, accuses them of violating the ceasefire deal. Still ahead in sports tonight, Wimbledon organizers to honor two-time champion Andy Murray with a statue at the All England Club. The Ondo State Security Network, codenamed Amotekun, has recorded another breakthrough in its fight against crime with the arrest of the suspected killer of Nelson Adekoige, a ward chairman of the All Progressives Congress in Osei local government area. Commander of the security outfit, Adetunji Adeleye, paraded the suspect alongside 31 others arrested for various criminal offenses across the state. Ayodeji Maradio has more.
Amotekun operatives have apprehended more than 450 suspects across Ondo State. According to the command, over 60% of those arrested were involved in kidnapping, while around 20% were linked to robbery and housebreaking. Now, the security outfit has made another breakthrough with the arrest of the man suspected to have murdered the All Progressives Congress APC World Chairman Nelson Adekoige. Mr. Adekoige was abducted from his residence in Ifon, Osei local government area. Despite a ransom payment of 5 million naira, he was killed by his captors.
On armed robbery,
Commander of Amotekun, Adetunji Adeleye, added that the remains of the slain politician has since been recovered and interred according to local customs and traditions.
Killer of the chairman of the ward chairman, Ward 6 in Osei, will face the full wrath of law once the court comes back to session.
The Amotekun commander also gave a further breakdown of the latest suspect arrested.
On armed robbery, we have 3, including one Michael, 23-year-old, who was arrested around Roscoe area in Odigbo. There is also a Lawal, 37, arrested for forgery, false information, aiding and abetting robbery around the power line. There is this suspected cultist, dreaded cultist, and experts in dismantling vehicle parts.
The Amotekun commander said the command will continue to work with other security agencies in the state to rid the state of criminals. Ayodeji Moradeyo, TVC News, Akure.
The Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission has held a one-day roundtable engagement with attorneys general from Nigeria's North Central region. Ibrahim Alege reports.
The roundtable engagement brought together key legal minds, state attorneys general and other stakeholders to chart a new path in the fight against corruption. With the theme strengthening subnational synergies for corruption prevention, the engagement emphasized prevention over punishment. The chairman of the ICPC, Dr. Musa Aliyu, said while enforcement remains crucial, stopping corruption before it starts is far more effective.
If you allow the corruption to happen, it will be difficult for you to cure. Especially there are a lot of issues around litigation, and we know how the judicial system in Nigeria is now. It is too slow because of many cases that happen in court. That's why we have this approach that let us prevent this thing from happening. If it happens, then we will now go for enforcement.
The chairman of the Code of Conduct Bureau and the Chief Judge of Kwara State echoed the need for synergy between federal and state institutions to tackle systemic corruption.
It's better for us to collaborate. And one good thing about it is that all of us have specific functions to play in the fight against corruption. So there is no overlap between what we are doing and what ICPC is doing, what EFCC is doing.
It is solely through our joint efforts that we can effectively implement the 5 pillars of the National Anti-Corruption Strategy.
For the National Assembly, no stone should be left unturned to strengthen the anti-corruption agencies in achieving their mandates.
If we hear from them and there's need to amend the ICPC Act or any other law to effectively help them to pursue justice in corruption matters, we'll do it.
And we're also working on, for example, the Poker Act and other relevant bills are in process in the National Assembly. This is to strengthen the fight against anti-corruption.
As Nigeria advances its anti-corruption efforts, engagements like these are positioning subnational actors not just as enforcers but as frontline defenders of integrity.
The roundtable engagement focused primarily on corruption prevention, a central message expected to resonate with the attorneys general who are the chief law officers in their respective states. Ibrahim Alige, TVC News, Ilorin.
The arrest of former top officials of the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited over an alleged $7.2 billion refinery fraud is drawing sharp public reactions. Many Nigerians are calling for greater transparency and urging government to make NNPCL more transparent to serve Nigerians better. Helen Osamide Akins reports.
The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission confirmed the arrest of key figures, including Umar Issa, a former chief financial officer of NNPCL, and Jumo Olasukomi, a former managing director of the Warri Refinery. The suspects are accused of authorizing the disbursement of billions of dollars for turnaround maintenance of the Kaduna, Warri and Port Harcourt refineries fund that reportedly yielded no visible results. The arrest is the outcome of the report by the Senate Committee on Public Accounts, chaired by Senator Aliyu Wadada, which highlighted disbursing discrepancies in NNPCL's financial statements amounting to over 210 trillion naira between 2017 and 2023. The development is already stirring heated public debates.
If you want to do a thorough job of NNPC, you don't go for the people that are asked to take decisions. You go for the one who gave the decision. We have a board in NNPC that was constituted. There are approval limits in NNPC charter. You can't have a CFO arrested without the GCEO. CFOs don't make approvals themselves.
Why don't they do this thing when these people were still serving? That is the right approach. If they can arrest them when they are still serving, it will even help to unravel so many things.
Not to arrest be the problem, but the action. Would the SEC take the action on the people they arrested? Would the SEC not compromise?
There are growing calls for the federal government to strengthen oversight on NNPCL.
Make NNPC a limited by liability company. Let it follow the agreements in the PIA. Get off government shares, dispose of government shares, put MOFI and MOPI shares into the public hands, dilute it possibly, improve new governance, and put new procurement processes in place.
They insist that the nation's premier oil company must be protected from corruption and run in a way that truly serves Nigerians.
As investigations continue, eyes will be on the EFCC, NNPC, the National Assembly and the Presidency, watching whether justice will truly be served, as the outcome of this investigation may also test the current administration resolve to curb corruption in the nation's most strategic industry. Helen Osamede Kings, TVC News, Abuja.
To some politics now, the acting national chairman of the People's Democratic Party, Umar Damagun, and other stakeholders met behind closed doors with chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, Professor Mahmoud Yakubu, at the commission's headquarters in Abuja. Senior political reporter Ademola Lawrence has more.
The high-level meeting was convened to address INEC's recent correspondence to the party ahead of the 100th National Executive Committee NEC meeting scheduled for June 30th, 2025. Leading the PDP delegation was acting chairman. He was accompanied by prominent party leaders from Zamfara State Governor, Bauchi State Governor, Plateau State Governor, and Oyo State Governor. INEC chairman reaffirmed Commission's commitment to engage the political parties as part of its regulatory responsibility.
And we look forward to this important clarification from the party as to who is the secretary. In the last couple of months, we received letters from the party saying that one Mr. Ude Okoye was the secretary. Thereafter, the party changed its mind and said it was Senator Anyang. Thereafter, the party changed its mind to say that it's Mr. Shokwedo. And again, the party changed its mind to say it's Anyang. And the last letter from the party actually has no secretary at all. It was only signed by the chairman, which we responded to. But we are here as the registrar and regulators of political parties.
In his remark, PDP acting chairman emphasized that the meeting was to deliberate on the issues surrounding the office of the party's national secretary.
We are here today, as you are aware, we have issues pertaining the status of our national secretary. We've gone into litigation, I think, from the beginning of last year until when the Supreme Court, make a pronouncement of which INEC of the party.
Following the closed-door meeting session, the acting chairman told journalists that the outcome of the meeting will be communicated to party stakeholders across the state before any public disclosure is made. Ademola Lawrence, TVC News, Abuja.
We have more stories coming up shortly. Don't go away. The recent Delegate Congress election in the Federal Capital Territory has sparked the fire of a fresh controversy in the All Progressives Congress, with some natives of the FCT now claiming they have been systematically excluded from the electoral process. Minister of Special Duties and Inter-Government Affairs Zephaniah Jesalo, who is an FCT indigene, has blamed the national leadership of the party for its poor handling of the delegate list. Abdullah has more.
The Delegate Congress held last Saturday was to select representatives for upcoming primary elections of the APC in the FCT. However, members of the APC at this stakeholders meeting are unhappy over what they described as an orchestrated effort to marginalize indigenous voices in favor of external influence.
Let's tell ourselves the truth of the matter. I'm not the minister of FCT. The minister of FCT have the power because he is in charge of the security of this place. And he has several things in minister's speeches telling him that he should do well for the FCT. Now, other people have come in now, but National couldn't protect us because I need protection. They said I should cut the party as a leader. Most of the documents I've been signing on behalf of FCT is leader, FCT leader. But when you come for the issue of these elections, the minister, the national, which of course I have time to discuss with the national chairman.
What we are saying as a party, we have the candidate that are paid, even at the when they paid at the national, and that did not bother us. But the most important thing is that for us to choose our candidate, we must follow the due process. We must follow the due process. And that's why we call our leaders here, so that we can discuss where things are not properly done. We complain.
APC Zonal Secretary North Central Yakubu Adamu believe these developments could have long-term implications for the FCT's political landscape.
We did not say 100% there wasn't elections. There are elections in few places, and there are issues in some few places. These are issues we collated and we're harmonizing, and these are internal issues, and this is something that we do with the leadership of the party.
As tensions continue to heighten inside the APC, the outcome of the committee's investigation will be crucial in resolving the differences and ensuring equity, justice and fairness. They also have communicated these grievances to the national chairman of the APC, Abdullahi Ganduje. They have also expressed concern over the deep infiltration of non-members of the APC in the FCT who seem to have now hijacked the party structure in the FCT and dictating what happens next. Habida Lawal, TVC News, Abuja.
The news just in, 24 out of 26 members of the Akwa Ibom State House of Assembly have dumped the People's Democratic Party to the All Progressives Congress. Udeme Otong, Speaker, reviewed the mass defection during plenary on Tuesday, confirming receipt of resignation letters from the lawmakers. The defectors cited ongoing internal crisis within the PDP's National Working Committee as reason for their decision. One of the two, Udoke Kwolfort of the Etina State constituency, is reportedly staying loyal to former Governor Udom Emmanuel. The other is Sunday Johnny of Ona constituency, who now becomes part of the minority PDP and has been removed as House Leader. Chief Whip Hefung Johnson of Umbo constituency has been named acting leader of the House pending the election of a new leader. The Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, has attributed the success of recent infrastructural projects in Abuja to the support of President Bola Tinubu. Speaking on Tuesday during the inauguration of the newly constructed right-hand service carriageway in Abuja, the minister praised President Tinubu's leadership, stating that the visible transformation in the capital is a direct result of his commitment. He also thanked President Tinubu for his support, urging him to continue backing the projects.
Mr. President, I want to say thank you. We still will continue to pray that you continue to support us the way you have supported us. Do not relent, because we cannot do anything if you are not giving us any support. Monkey the job, monkey the job. Now, because 3 near 3. Some of you may not understand that adage. When people say, we are doing well, it's because Mr. President is giving us support.
This vital carriageway we commissioned today is not just a road. It is a symbol of progress and a reflection of administration's renewed hope agenda. An agenda committed to building infrastructure that serves the people.
The Ondo State government has officially launched the distribution of 165 fodder choppers to livestock farmers across the state. This initiative aims to enhance the quality of animal feed and significantly boost livestock production. Ayodele Maradio has more.
In Nigeria is currently grappling with significant challenges as rising animal feed costs threaten productivity and sustainability. Feed accounts for nearly 70% of total production costs, making the issue critical. For instance, the cost of a ton of maize, which was approximately 90,000 naira in 2020, has now skyrocketed to over 450,000 naira. Similarly, soya beans have escalated to nearly 700,000 per ton. In response to these challenges, the Ondo State government is actively working to mitigate the rising cost of livestock feed. Distribution of these fodder choppers is part of the Livestock Project and Resilience Support Project, a collaborative effort between the State Ministry of Agriculture and Forestry and the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security. Governor Loke Aiyedatiwa, represented by his Deputy Olaide Adelami, emphasized that this initiative is designed to address the persistent challenges facing livestock production in the state.
Through the support of the federal government and the World Bank under the Health Press project, as a state, we have continued to scale up our livestock transformation agenda. Aside today's distribution, we are also advancing in areas such as construction of livestock infrastructure and marketing hubs.
The state coordinator of the project, Olufemi Adiogun, highlighted that effective fodder management is critical for sustainable livestock production, especially given the unpredictable weather patterns.
Fodder management remains a critical component of sustainable livestock production, especially in the face of erratic weather patterns, prolonged dry spells, and land degradation.
The provision of these fodder choppers will greatly benefit our farmers by improving the digestibility of these fodders and year-round availability of fodder for their livestock.
Beneficiaries of the program are encouraged to make good use of this government initiative, which is aimed at enhancing livestock feed production and ensuring food security in the state. Ayodeji Moradeyo, TVC News, Akure.
You're watching TVC News at 7. Up next is Business News with Tuliloko Gunjabi.
And in business news, the federal government has announced a revenue of 6.9 trillion naira generated between January and April 2025, representing a 40% increase compared to the same period the previous year. Helena Samede Kings reports.
Where no one is oppressed.
It's the second Citizens and Stakeholders Engagement Forum for 2025, organized by the Ministry of Finance to review the implementation of presidential priorities and key deliverables for the second quarter of the year. At the forum, the Finance Minister gave a detailed overview of the current state of the Nigerian economy, noting a significant year-on-year improvement. He attributed the 40% revenue growth to ongoing reforms in the foreign exchange market and physical governance, along with the adoption of technology and automation to improve revenue collection across ministries, departments and agencies.
The external reserves have grown from what was a low of about $3 billion to over $23 billion. On the fiscal side as well, we have had in 2024 a huge increase in revenue from just above 12%, 12.5 trillion to 20 trillion naira.
However, he admitted that oil revenue is still underperforming due to the poor crude production and global oil price volatility.
Real GDP growth is on the right trajectory, but at 3.4%, even 3.8% is not enough to achieve in the nearest future a GDP growth rate on a sustainable basis of somewhere near 7% per annum. And why that figure? That would be more than double population growth.
Other departments under the ministry also presented their milestones and achievements during the engagements.
59 mortgages have been given to Nigerians, and the value of that is about 6.9 billion. But I do not think that there's a time in the history of this country when in less than 2 months, an institution, a plan, or a program disburses up to 6.9 billion in terms of mortgages to Nigerians.
The quarterly Citizens and Stakeholders Engagement serves as a platform for fostering transparency, encouraging citizen participation, and gathering feedback on government policies and programs. Helen Osamede-Akins, TVC News, Abuja.
The Presidential Enabling Business Environment Council, PEBEC, has kicked off a nationwide tour aimed at promoting reforms that will enhance the ease of doing business initiative in the country. The tour began in Lagos, led by the Director General of the Council, Azaha Mustafa-Odu, who is spearheading technical sessions and town hall engagements to deepen public understanding of government's business reform strategies. The engagements are designed to provide a platform for stakeholders, including entrepreneurs, investors, and business owners, to interact directly with government representatives, share practical experiences, and suggest reforms to improve the business environment.
To support Nigeria. We only have one country, and as long as you have a democratically elected president, whether you agree 100% or not, you should always push for what is best for the country by supporting within your own capacity. I want you to tell us at the state level what is not quite working as well as what is working. I also want you to tell us at the federal level what we can do better. I want you to look at PEBEC and tell us what we are not doing right. So today is a day for us to critically look at the business climate, especially as it affects you in Lagos.
Today's town hall, without a doubt, is a space for dialogue and co-creation. It is a space where public servants listen and private actors speak truth to power. Whether you're a fintech pioneer working on digital payments, a cooperative managing pooled capital for agro-processing, or a manufacturer dealing with customs matters, we need your voice. These reforms are not abstract, they are deeply human, and we are committed to making them work for you.
The Western Marine Command of the Nigerian Customs Service says it is on a high alert to dismantle smuggling syndicates operating along the nation's waterway. Controller Patrick Ntadi stated this during a press briefing in Lagos, reaffirming the commands zero tolerance policy against economic sabotage. TVC News senior business correspondent Ifunanya Eze reports.
At the Western Marine Command headquarters in Lagos, Comptroller Patrick Ntadi declared an intensified crackdown on maritime smuggling, reinforcing the command's commitment to border security and economic protection. Among recent seizures are over 2,000 bags of foreign parboiled rice, 481 loaves of cannabis sativa, bundles of textile, bags of sugar with a combined duty paid value of more than 352 million naira.
This was intercepted along Badagry axis by the operations. You know, we have headquarters operations over here, so there was an actionable intelligence. We had to send people down there, and then they got it. We had some from Badagry, some from Yakeme. There's an area we call Water Boss.
The cannabis sativa was handed over to the NDLEA for further action.
There's no room for water smuggling. Actually, my mandate is to make sure I reduce it to the barest minimum. If, like I said, if you know the insecurity now, the challenges, some of them, it can't just be only road. Drugs too, especially. If you know the effect of drugs on our children, you will know that it's something we all have that responsibility to stop it. We are definitely going to work hard on it. My mandate is to make sure I reduce smuggling to the barest minimum.
I have gotten this seizure, and I will ensure that I conduct some investigation and take the exhibits to for safekeeping.
Also seized were 9 locally constructed boats used in smuggling operations. Comptroller Ntadi attributed the success to improved surveillance, intelligence sharing and strategic collaboration with other agencies, while expressing appreciation to the Comptroller General of Customs, Adewale Adeniyi, for strategic support and logistics. Ifunanya Eze, TVC News, Lagos.
Oh, we'll take a break now. Now we'll be back with sports news. Stay with us.
The Senate Committee on the Review of the 1999 Constitution cordially invites the public, civil society, interest groups, and professional bodies to a 2-day zonal public hearing on the proposed further alteration to the provisions of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, holding simultaneously across the 6 geopolitical zones of the nation. Date: Friday, July 4th to Saturday, July 5th, 2025. Venue: across the 6 geopolitical zones. Join fellow citizens to speak on vital issues like electoral and local government reforms, judicial and legislative improvement, security and devolution of powers, fiscal reforms, state creation, and more. Bills can be downloaded at sccr.gov.ng/Senate-bills. For inquiries, contact the clerk to the committee, Dr. Innocent Babiri, on 080-370-92195. Signed, Distinguished Senator Barrow I. Jibrin, CFR, Deputy President of the Senate and Chairman, Senate Committee on the Review of the 1999 Constitution.
And in sports, we'll begin with the FIFA Club World Cup, where Palmeiras rallied from 2 goals down to snatch a 2-2 draw against Inter Miami and qualify top of Group A for the FIFA Club World Cup last 16, a result that sent both teams through to the round of 16. Both teams finished on 5 points, with Inter Miami second on goal difference, while Al Ahly of Egypt and FC Porto were both eliminated after they drew 4-4. Inter Miami and Lionel Messi will next play European champions Paris Saint-Germain, where the Argentine spent 2 seasons from 2021 to 2023, while Palmeiras will face fierce rivals Botafogo in an all-Brazilian clash for a place in the quarterfinals. More games are on the schedule for Tuesday night as Australian club Auckland FC face Boca Juniors of Argentina, while Benfica will lock horns with German champions Bayern Munich. Transfer stories now. Manchester United have submitted an improved bid of more than £60 million for Brentford striker Bryan Mbeumo. This month, United had a bid of £45 million plus up to £10 million in add-ons rejected. After a £62.5 million capture of Matthews Cunha from Wolves, United are keen to further strengthen their squad before they return for pre-season training. Next month, new Tottenham manager Thomas Frank and other top Premier League clubs are also keen on signing the 25-year-old Mbuemo. While top Premier League clubs seem to be intentional about strengthening their teams, Premier League runners-up Arsenal are yet to make any notable addition. Former Arsenal midfielder Alex Song, in an exclusive conversation with TVC News, urged Gunners fans around the world to stay calm and be positive.
I think Arsenal, they improve a lot. Honestly, this year you cannot tell them blame them because the way how they're playing, the way how they deserve to play to win the league, but they didn't have the chance because we have a lot of striker that was injured. When you have a team and you don't have the striker, it's very hard. That's why Mikael was managed the way how he can manage, but he was doing well as well. Without striker, it's very difficult because you need someone who smell goal. And that time we missed all those guys that was injured. That's why the end of the season we missed that quality of the guy who can finish score and then that's why it was the problem. But we're playing very good. I think we are very close. I'm sure, I'm confident that what the player Arsenal sign and then the player will come in. I'm sure this year, the next season will be the final one because every year we're saying this one and we are not lucky. But hopefully next year we don't have an injury and we can want.
Indiana Pacers superstar Tyrese Haliburton could miss the entire 2025-2026 NBA season after having surgery on the torn right Achilles tendon. The 25-year-old fell to the court without any contact as he attempted to drive to the basket 7 minutes into the first quarter of the decisive Game 7 of the NBA Championship Playoff Finals at the Oklahoma City Thunder. He was in obvious distress as he was helped from the court and missed the rest of the game, which his side lost 103 to 91 points to end their hopes of a first NBA title. Haliburton had a successful surgery and has a recovery time of 8 to 10 months. The two-time All-Star is the third high-profile player to suffer a ruptured Achilles tendon in this season's playoffs, following Boston's Jason Tatum and Milwaukee Bucks' Damian Lillard. And in tennis, Iga Swiatek served off her preparations for the Wimbledon Open with a straight set victory over Victoria Azarenka at the Bad Homburg tournament on Tuesday. The five-time Grand Slam champion eased to a 6-4-6-4 success over her fellow former world number one to reach the quarterfinals. Swiatek, whose three-year French Open reign was ended in the semifinals by Aryna Sabalenka earlier this month, will next face either Maria Sakkari or Ekaterina Alexandrova. The 24-year-old has never reached the final of a grass court tournament, and her best performance at Wimbledon was a run to the quarterfinals in 2023. And the Wimbledon Open organizers are planning to honor two-time champion Andy Murray with a statue at the All England Club. Murray, who ended a 77-year wait for a British winner of the men's singles title in 2013 before winning again in 2016, retired after the Paris Olympics last year. Wimbledon hope the statue will